Hello ladies and gents, and welcome back to Martin's Assembly Haven, and welcome to part 3 of the ROKR's Christmas Dream Gift Factory step-by-step assembly. And look how far we've gotten already. We've only got 2 parts out, but this is just magical. Look at this. Oh, can't forget the little door. Look at that. This is absolute magic, and everything runs incredibly smoothly. Those gears, they just make no noise because there's so much wax everywhere. We need to wax and over wax, and it just works an absolute treat. And if you're just starting this model, make sure you go and look at the part 1 and part 2, because if you follow those step-by-step videos, clearly this is what you're going to end up with. An incredibly smooth machine, basically. Or if you're building something else in the meantime, you're just joining in because you're just enjoying these videos, then welcome, and I hope you enjoy it. And if you've been following my videos, then welcome back to part 3. Right, let's get this turned off. Okay, right, just before I start with the part 3 build, I just want to give a quick shout out to my new channel member, and that's Andre, because I've got channel membership now where if you enjoy my videos and you would like to support me, basically buy me a coffee once a month. There's channel membership that you can sign up for. There's a link down below in the comments section or in the description, or you can simply just go below the video and click on join button, and that's how you basically show the support, and I really appreciate it. So thank you everybody, and of course no pressure, you know, it's all up to you. But nevertheless, again, just a massive thank you to you all, you know, and I hope that I really do actually help people complete their builds, because it's quite the achievement when you achieve something like this, because this is definitely not the easiest model. From what I remember, it's like 6-star difficulty, which is actually quite mental. And I could compare this to like their pinball machine that I did. I think that was 6-star difficulty as well, but it did not feel difficult at all. This is definitely a lot more difficult. So some of you might just need a little help, and I hope I do really help. Anyways, let's begin. So we're starting this video with step number 9. So scroll to those instructions. Flip pages. Scroll. If you got a PDF, you could, I suppose. Anyways, so we've got these pieces right here. Let's look at this guy first. Right, see that? It's got color on one side and it's plain on the other side. So just literally hold it like this, because there's going to be stuff going in it in a second. Right, as we grab these 2 little guys, I need to get that cable out the road. It's just annoying me now. Let's start with a smaller piece, and it doesn't matter which way you're holding it, because there's no patterns or colors anywhere apart from obviously just E57. You could call that pattern, I suppose. Anyways, hold it like this with that cut off side to the right, and then insert your hat so the green side stays towards the left, basically. See that? There we go, and we do the same with the bigger one. Just make sure that cut off side stays to the right side. Pop it on, nice and gentle. Then remember how I said just hold it like that. And pop the hat on. Nice and easy, and then hold this like that. And this little leg will simply pop in here at the bottom. Nice and gentle, give it a little wiggle. Yes! Yes, little beauty! There we go. Very nice and easy. It's like kind of like a, I was going to say half hat, but no, that's like a full-on Christmas hat, basically. So yeah, nice and easy start, eh? Then we grab our next pieces. There we go. So you can see lots of nice colouring. And look at these little presents. I really like that goldeny colour. That is really nice. By the way, you know what I always absolutely love about everybody who watches these type of videos is when they say where they're from. So if you're watching this, not that you have to share it, I would love to know where you're basically building from. I've had people literally from all over the world. It's been unbelievable. Obviously, UK, America, Netherlands, Germany, Australia, New Zealand. It's actually quite unbelievable. So if you could tell me simply where you're watching from / building from, that would be amazing. It's just quite incredible. The community of these models is humongous. Mahusen, as I say. Anyways, let's start with this guy right here. And then as you can see, this guy, see that little nice wee hole. Make sure that stays on the top and we simply pop it in this hole right here. And by the way, if you didn't know, yes, I do live in Scotland. So I'm considering myself as Scottish, yes, because I've been here for quite a while. However, I'm originally from Latvia, you see. Yeah, I don't know if you can tell that accent that sometimes slips, possibly. Anyways, now this guy, the little hat that we just built. So that will go right in here, the bottom one. See that little leggy? And the top one will go simply in here. So let's pop that in. Nice and easy. There we go. Don't push like one of them in fully straight away, you know, just a little bit. So it's you kind of keep going back and forth, pushing them in, yeah, know. Right, look at this. It's taken its shape. Lovely jubbly. Right, now onto the presents and this piece right here. So make sure you're holding it correctly. This is how I'm holding it basically, yeah. Just like that. So colour on the top, yeah. And not like this, of course. Like this. Oi, 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 where are you going? So like this. So we can see the presents, you see? And they simply go in those little 2 holes. See that? There we go. Very nice and easy, nice and easy. And then this guy will simply pop in there. See that little hole right there? So that's where this leg is going to go, and the rest will basically follow. Alright, nice and easy. See that? Make sure the little leggy's in. Yep. Nice and gentle push. Hey! Okay. See that? Look at this, that's really cool. 3 nice shelves. So we've got a hat and 2 little presents. Awesome. Now we come to the actual model because this has to go in the place. And I'm not going to lie, in instructions it might look slightly confusing of where it's going, but simply this longer leg is going in that hole right there. And then this hole, see that hole from the bottom, right there, from this thing that we just built. That will plug right on here on that leg. And there will be this blue, the short light basically going through it, but we're going to leave that last. So, pop that leg straight in, nice and gentle. And line up the other hole, see that? And just give it a nice push. See that? That went in extremely easy. Look at that, that is really quite cool. Now we pull through the short light, through this hole, right there. Nice and gentle, don't want to be bending them too much at all really. I'm sure it would be very easy to break them. Alright, easy, easy, tiger. Oh. I don't want to pull that rubber too far, so I'm just going to leave it as is just now because I don't think this rubber is going to be covered. It might be, might not be, we'll see. But I'm going to leave this actual rubber part from the wire on the other side, just there. So I'm not going to pull it through fully just yet. And now we need this guy to basically lock the top part into place. So color stays to the top, literally like this. So hold the piece like that and it'll just go right in here. See that? Very nice and gentle. Come on, come on. You can do this. You can do this, man. Yeah. There we go. Look at this. Super easy, and that shelf looks absolutely awesome. Nice one. Now on to the next pieces. Okay, there we go. This is our next 2 pieces right here. And we're starting with this one. So let's go back to that shelf area. Move the light out the way a little bit. Oh my god, it's just all over the place, the long one. Not easy to control, I'll tell you. Anyways, this guy, just hold it literally like this. And this little hook is going to hook on to this gap right here. And you simply follow basically through. So see, look at the bottom. See how there's a little leg and there's a hole. So that's where it's basically going in. Okay, nice and gentle. Okay. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. There we go. See there? Super easy. And again, this short light will just have to follow through this hole right there. Come on then, come on then. There we go. Lovely jubbly. Alright, okay. So I'm just going to leave this, as is just now, this light, there we go. And now we go onto the cover. So this is how you're holding it. So basically, when you look at the back, there's nothing there. But when you look at the front, you can see an arrow, yeah? So basically point it this way. Yeah, it's literally as simple as that. And then it will just go on the top. Okay, so start with the little guy. So that's where the pieces are, that's where the little legs are going in. See this little leg? It'll go in that little wee hole. And that little leg will go in this hole. And the rest will basically follow. Nice and easy. Hey, I like hearing clicks like that. Probably pushed it all in too far to start with. That's okay. There we go, one here. Yeah! Lovely. Look at this. It is taking its shape pretty quickly, I would say. Okay, so we've got all of our next pieces for this step 10, but there is another first thing that we need to do with this longer LED light. So what we're supposed to do is basically get that cable in here in this little gap, then run it all the way to the front here, wrap it around this guy like that, basically anti-clockwise, and leave the bead at the bottom. But what I'm seeing is that I have a bead right here, and I assume, of course, there will be stuff coming on the top. So if I pull it over like this, that means it leaves a bead right here, and I don't know if that's going to be in the way of like pieces basically, so I wouldn't be able to push them down correctly. I have looked at the instructions well ahead. I can't really see it anywhere, which is slightly confusing, I'm not gonna lie. So what I'm gonna do instead is I'm just gonna kind of bend the bead a little bit inwards, basically like that. So it's only the cable that comes over the top. There we go. I'll show you that in a second. See that? So I'm leaving my bead kind of on the side, and it'll be nice if I see extra light on this side. So then, when we come to this bead right here, it has to face downwards, basically right in the middle. So I'm just twisting it a little bit. Wow! Just nice and gentle, Anna. So making sure it's in the middle. And then you have to wrap around it like this. It feels a bit like a surgery or something just now. See that? Hey! Well, this basically popped out. So I'm going to pull the cable back a bit. So it clicks in that place right here. See that? So this is how I'm going to leave my bead. See that right there? So there's no harm if there's extra light on this side, because I'm just trying to keep this as flush as possible, really, because that bead will take quite a lot of space, you know. And then when you look at my other one, as you can see, it's right at the bottom and it's facing down. Okay. I'm just gonna try and keep it on the side. I'll pop it over this just for now, just so we can get on to our next pieces, yeah. Okay, there we are. So just leave it like that for now. I know that definitely wasn't that straightforward, especially because there's that extra bead, but as I said, just leave it there. We might be able to put it on the top, but to be honest, it doesn't really matter where it goes, you know. Anyways, let's move on to our next pieces. The first thing I'll tell you straight away is when you come to this guy, make sure you wax this whole front. As you can see, I have got plenty and plenty of wax on it. So, yep, make sure you do that. Alrighty, now we come to this guy first. And what I can tell you is, you might be slightly confused. I'm not too sure if you will, to be honest, but you might be. It doesn't really tell you in the instructions how you should keep this pattern, but you have to keep it on the top, because when you take a closer look, this half a hole stays towards the left hand side basically. So that means the color stays on the top. It's just really as simple as that. Right, so I'm basically going to hold it like this. We grab this little guy and the pattern stays on the outside and it goes right in here. Ooh, nice wiggle. There we go. There we go. We got these two little guys here. So this guy is going to go to the back of it and the pattern is going to stay on the outside. I assume. It doesn't really tell you again, but I'm going to keep it on the outside. When we look at these two guys, again, only one tells you the pattern stays on the outside. Sorry, the color. So it's this one right here. So I pop that one in, color stays on the outside, and the other one doesn't really tell you anything, so I'm keeping it on the outside. There we go, nice and easy. So it pops right next to on the sides of the first guy that we popped in, see that? Just like that. And then this goes to the back. Again, it doesn't tell you where you should keep the color, but I'm just keeping it to the back. You can see through these 4 little holes, and I'm just like, do I want to see red possibly, or just bare wood? But I'm just going to keep it to the outside. There we are. See that? Nice and easy. Okay, now when we come to our next guys, where's my square? Again, keep the patterns to the top basically. So these two will stay up like that. And this little guy will have to face towards you basically. So towards this, right there. I don't even know what that is. Is that a radio or something? Not 100% sure. Alright, so we pop this straight on, literally like that. Then this guy, I'll keep the actual F16 to the back, so we don't see it at the front. Alright, gentle wee push, there we go. And then it goes simply on the top like that. Boom! There we go. See that? Give it a little wiggle. Hey! Look at this. That looks really quite nice, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what that is. Is that a radio? I think it might be, possibly. And we've got this little guy. Again, it does not tell you where the pattern stays, but I'm pretty sure it actually kind of does, because all you can see is the lines in the instructions, not like the geary type of symbol that tells you where the color stays, but that'll stay to the front. There we go. See that? That is super cool. It might look slightly overwhelming if you look at the instructions. You're like, oh my god, there's so much going on, but it's all perfectly fine. Right, now, we'll leave this to the side just for now. We come to our next guys, and it will be actually this one, sorry. I grabbed the other one. And we go ahead and start popping little pieces in. Right, let's start with this. This turns literally like that. And it goes straight in here. Yeah, remember, wax the front of this, okay? Do not forget that. Then we come to this guy and we turn it like this. So the plus sign stays to the right basically, but to be honest, that does not make any difference really if it goes in like this. Or like that, yeah, no. But let's just pop in like this. Nice and gentle. Yeah, hear that little crack. It's nice and satisfying. And now we've got this. That will go right to the top. But first, what I'm going to do actually is this. So, you keep this guy like that, and then this qualified goes on, well, at the bottom of it, basically, like this. And both of them have to go in at the same time. Literally, right in here. As I said, at the same time. See that? So instead of putting the top on first and then trying to put this in, just do that first, you know. And then this little guy. Look at that. This will be lovely. Look at this, that's super cool. And then we've got this guy, which simply goes on the side here. Wow, that is actually a very nice looking piece. So I'm basically starting from the top, trying not to push everything in at the same time, just trying to line everything up first. And then a gentle squeeze. Whoop. Okay, that's definitely not the easiest thing. Need quite the focus here, I'll tell you. A top keeps popping out. What are you doing to me? Come on! Ah, right, I'm going to pop the top in first a little bit. So try this. Hopefully it stays into place. Yeah, I think we're getting there. Hey, you're definitely getting there. Super gentle. Yes. Look at this. Haha. That's a beautiful piece. That's kind of, I don't know, it kind of looks like raw life stuff. So, like what are they called? These book things. Book nooks, there you go. Where you build miniature, super tiny things or like kitchen equipment or whatever. That's really quite cool. Nice one. Right, and then as we continue, this guy is going to go right on here, literally. So, first thing you want to do is locate these two longer spaces. See that? Right there. So, pop the bottom in. Nice and gentle. There we go. And the back parts, see that? There's a hole right there, and there's one at the back on the other side as well. You can see it from this side, actually. Yeah, there you go. You can see a hole right in there, and then one there at the back. So what we have to do is literally basically slide this little guy back, and it should lock into place. But be gentle, of course. So my right hand side is done. That went in extremely easily. There's my other side. So yeah, it kind of, is this lined up? I'm not even seeing it. Okay, so I need to push this side in a little. Oh, there you go. Just had to push my left hand side in a little, so that way. And it just went straight in. And there we go. Look at this. How cool does that look? That is super nice. And the present is just going to kind of appear out of nowhere. Like pure magic. Anyways, let's continue. Still got two little guys to pop in. Right, we got this little guy. As you can see, one side's got colour, one doesn't. Make sure you keep the colour to the front, so facing you. I don't know if you might want to use tweezers for this one. Very tiny. I'm pretty sure this is the second time I'm saying it, but I should have grabbed my own tweezers. Can he do this that easily with my sausage fingers, yeah? No? Come on. Hey. Oh, I thought it was in. It just came out. Come on. You can do this. Yay. There we go. See that? That's where it goes. Literally right to the front of it. There's a little hole. And then just push it down. See that? Nice. So imagine if you lift the actual wood colour to the front. It wouldn't look as nice, you know? And then we got this little guy. That will pop right in here. But again, keep the goldeny colour to the top, not the bottom. That should nicely pop in there. See that? Look at this. So that's your handle, basically. That's what that is. That just makes it look so much cooler. Every little detail like that, it's quite incredible for a model, really. Right, now we got our next pieces. Look at all of these colours. Look at all this. Literally, every single piece we have here has a colour on it. So, yeah, that is pretty awesome. Anyways, let's start with this. So, literally, hold it like that because there's going to be a piece coming in from this side and then connecting on this side to the rings, basically. So, colour this way. Then we got this guy. Again, it doesn't tell you where the colour should go, but I assume it will stay facing you, basically. So this guy goes in here. Push that in. See that? So I'm keeping this red colour facing you, basically, or right if you're holding it like this, yeah. Then we've got this golden wheel, which will go right on here. There we go. And we've got this red one right here, which will go, oh, I'm going to turn it upside down actually, there we go. I'll go right on here. And I'll only turn it upside down just a little bit, to be honest, because I sanded just slightly too much here. As you can see, you can kind of see the bare wood a little bit. I know it's not that much, really. It's not going to make any difference, but I don't know. I pay attention to detail, I suppose, you know. I quite like it. Anyways, mumbling absolute rubbish here, eh? Next piece is this. So, keep the plain side facing you. So, literally, the easiest way to describe it is basically hold it like this. And then this guy is going to go in, whoosh, like that, from the side. There we go. Easy peasy, lemon a squeezy. Okay, keep going, keep going, keep going. Yay, there we go. You might be wondering, how far does it actually have to go? But pretty sure it has to go in right in because there's kind of flat side at the bottom there that kind of sits against this yellow nice side. So yeah, push it straight in. No faffing around, you know. Then we come to this guy. Keep the pattern to the top. And yeah, just to let you know, keep this little guy to the back. So like this, and not like this, see that? Goes in literally like this. Nice and gentle. Little wiggle. Yeah, we like a little wiggle, don't we? Right, now we got this little guy. So when you look at it, you can see it says packaging. See that? So you want to make sure that stays up, you know, so it stays the correct way. Not like this, you know, whatever that would say. Gnig, blah, 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 blah. I don't even know what that says. Anyways, oh, see that? I nearly popped in the wrong way. There we go. See that? How cool! Now we go onto this guy and again, wax this whole side. Look at that, plenty of wax on it. We always want plenty of wax. And keep the pattern obviously to the right. Not like this. I don't think you can even put it on like that, can you? Nah, you can't. So, straight on like this. Hey, what you doing to me? What you doing to me? There we go. See that? Super easy, super straightforward. Then we grab this guy and we simply turn it. Bam! See that? So we keep the little gears or whatever that is on the top. Or you can look at the sides and be like this. Longer guy stays on the left. And we simply pop into the front. Oh, look at this. Look at this little guy. Oh my god, all these little things are so cute. So cool. And then we come to this guy. This is how you're holding it, okay? Pattern to the top, even though it doesn't really tell you that in the instructions, but there's no need for you to actually know that, because when you look at it, it's like, there's this leg and there's this leg. There's only 2 holes in this. There's, again, no way you can do it the wrong way, can you? Nope, you can't, because this leg is bigger than the other ones. Hence, this hole's smaller than the other one. Easy! And we pop it on. Look at this little beaut. That is absolutely beautiful. And then we simply go on here, pop the top part in, and obviously the 2 sides, but be gentle. And then we're going to basically push it down. Should be straightforward. Ha! That was extremely easy. So yeah, just be very gentle, of course. And yeah, push it in and then push it down. Very easy. So when this magical thing creates the gift, this will just kind of pop up, you know, and reveal it. It's gonna look super awesome. Oh, look at this. There's a gap. Oh my god, are we going to be able to see a little bit of it? No, I don't think so, because I'm pretty sure I just turned it off at the wrong time. Maybe we should plug in just now. Let's have a quick look. Let's see, why not? Let's see our work. Yeah, come on, cable. Yes, there we go. Right, let's see this. I'm going to turn off the music straight away, by the way. Yeah, it goes right to the bottom. Look at this. Oh, sorry, it's actually that thing that creates the GIF. Sorry, that checks the quality. Oh my god, my apologies. That was really silly, eh? Oh, look how smooth it is. And now you can see why you need plenty of wax on the side of this and on the side of that, because they are touching each other. And as you can see, it runs incredibly smoothly and there's no friction. It's absolutely fantastic. I'm actually going to keep it down. There we go. Oh, no. Now. Hey, there we go. I'm just keeping it all down. I don't want it to be raised just now in case I like drop it or do something to it and break it while it's hanging in the air, basically, you know. It's just much safer that it's down. So, yeah, if you made it this far, guys, absolutely well done. This looks stunning, really. Okie dokie, let's get on to our next guys. Right. First of all, let's secure this into place. So we've got this guy, nice and easy. So that just goes right in there at the top. Right, let's see how easy this will be, eh? Right, nice and gentle. No rush. Hey, look at that. That was very nice and straightforward. Awesome. Okay, now what we do first is we grab these two guys, yeah? So C44 and C18. And it doesn't really matter which one you start with. I'm going to start with this one. So, when you look at the base, right here, this will go at the back. See those two holes right there? So it goes in like that, like a little seat. There we go. Come on. Hey! There we go. Very lovely. Lovely jubbly. And then this little guy is going to go in like that. See that? So, it's keeping the plain side to the right, basically. Nice and easy. I was going to say a little wiggle. Oh, that's not going in that easily. Right, there we go. Very nice and easy start. Then we go on to this. Is this like a recycling bin? Is that what that is? Not too sure, but it looks very cool anyways. Right, now we got these guys right here, alright? So, look at this, yeah. This is super tiny. And you might look at it and be a little bit confused. But anyways, literally hold it like this, like how I am just now. So that will pop right on here. Okay, see that? And the pattern will just, well, the color will stay to wherever it basically leads you as you're popping those two pieces in, if that makes sense. And then this will pop on here and make sure the color stays to the left, basically. There we go. Look at this little beauty. Look at this. That looks really nice, doesn't it? Super cool. And then that simply goes in here at the front. See those two holes right there. Come on. Wiggle. Wiggle it. Yes, look at this. That looks super cool. Nice. Ha! Lovely work. Right. Now we need another piece for this side. So let's bring in our next pieces right here. So we're going to need these two little guys and these two pieces. And yeah, I don't know if you watched part 2. We built a gift already. So it's the one that's underneath this cover there that keeps going left to right and vice versa. And it actually wasn't that easy. It was quite difficult because it's so tiny. And we're going to have to build another one, but this one might actually look slightly bigger than the previous one, which is good. Anyways, so let's go to this piece right here. So see, when you look at one of the longer edges, it looks like a serrated knife, basically, you know, your bread knife. So make sure that part stays pointing down, basically. Then when we come to these two guys, we just have to make sure they go in correctly. So as you can see how I'm holding it right here, this is how it has to go in. So the smaller leg, see that on the right hand side, is the one that's going to go in at the back, literally, like that. And we do exactly the same on the other side. Just make sure it's pointing the right direction, so literally like this. And that goes straight in. There we go. See that? And yeah, remember, keep the serrated edge pointing down. And then it simply clicks on this piece right here, but make sure it goes in on the colored side, not the plain side. Okay, nice and easy. A little bit of a wiggle. Wiggle, 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 yeah. Hooah! Wah! There we go. Look at that. That looks really quite cool. Love that golden colour again. Very cool. And then that simply plops in here in those two holes. Yeah! Hey, hear that click. Look at that. That is really cool. It's like a collection bin. Well, obviously that's where it kind of collects the gifts. So yeah, that looks really cool, but kind of, because of those logos at the bottom, it's like it's recycling. It's like it's recycling the gifts. Don't know. Some might be confused, you never know. Right, anyways, so let's start with this guy right here. So as you can see, both sides are plain, so you do not have to worry about anything. Then we come to these two guys right here. As you can see, one side's plain, one side's colored. So we're keeping the color on the outside. And when you look at this piece, see, like one end and that end is longer, so bigger than the other two ends. See that? So you basically have to match it up with the little piece that you're holding. There we go. Just like that, because there's no way it's going to fit on the smaller side. See that? Yep, not a chance. And again, keep the color on the outside. There we go. Oh, God. There we go. Right, next pieces right here. And this is the little leg. See that? And again, keep the color on the outside. Well, this present so far is way easier to build than the previous one. I can tell you that much. Right, okie dokie. See that? And then when we come to this guy, again, see the longer legs, you know? Longer hole, sorry, or the cut. So that's how that goes on. So the longer cut with a longer cut on this piece, you know? Because there's no way you're going to be able to put it on like this. It just doesn't work. And yeah, color on the top. Nice and easy. Oh, one piece went out a little bit. Come on, pull it out a bit. Yay, there we go. So once it's in, you can kind of go around and make sure everything's in correctly, you know. Magic. Right, now what we need to do is put the actual, is it bunting? That's what it's called, isn't it? So anyways, the bunting's going on. So hold it like this. So see that hole right there? Kind of going to the right, and there's another hole here that will kind of go on the left. So hold it like this. Grab that and make sure the color is facing you. And pop it in very gently. Don't want to break that piece, no way. And we've got another one right here, and the color will stay on this side. Like so. Alright, nice and easy. Hey, there we go. Yeah, this present was way easier to build than the other one. Look at that. That's super cute, isn't it? Nice one. So when that present is completed, we bring in this little guy. So the little leg that's going to hold it into place, basically. So when you look at the gift, see how there's no ribbon on this side, but there is one on this side. So this top part of the leg, so the longer side, longer leg, not the tiny one, is going to go literally in on the side like that. Boom! See that? Super easy. And then it simply goes in here, in the little wee recycling box bin thing we created. I'm still not too sure what that is. See, there's a little hole right in there. So that's where that little leg goes in. Nice and gentle. A little wiggle back and forth. Yay! Right, there we go. Look at that. That looks really cool. But when I look at this bunting right here, I don't know, I kind of want to like turn it so I can see the red actually on this side. Let's have a quick look. Let's see if we can do that. I'm pretty sure we can. So I'm just going to pull it off. I'm going to turn it. There we go. Hopefully I'm right. I know I could go and look at some photos, but yeah, see, that just looks much better now that I look at it, and not from this side where I can see the plain side. So yeah, it's very easy to fix that. So if you did the same thing that I did, just simply pull it out and swap it around. And when you do go back to the instructions to look at it, to me, definitely looks like the pattern, the color is on the other side as it was before I swapped it. So when the whole model is completed and it looks a bit odd from this side, which I don't think it will, we could simply just swap it again, but I don't think there's going to be any need to do that. Right, let's bring in our next pieces. And we got a bendy little guy, look at this. Ooh, like the cardboardy type of feeling guy, but I'm pretty sure that's still wood. Yeah, it is. It's just incredibly thin. It does feel like cardboard or something. Anyways, let's plumb these two sides on. That's very straightforward, you know. There's no patterns, no nothing. Just pop them on. Nice and simple. See that? And then this guy. So what you need to pay attention to is these holes. See those 4 holes at the top? There's none at the bottom here. There's some here. So we need to make sure that faces down the way. And then these 2 holes will plop in here. Literally. Just like that. And then when we go around, simply do that. Nice and easy. And again, these holes, bigger ones, will pop in the same holes that we used already. Sorry, the legs. So we use the same legs to pop it in again, so it holds in the place. Not the easiest thing really, slightly fiddly. Hey, there's 1 and there's 2. There we go. I've got a feeling they could easily just kind of jump off. But yeah, there we go. Trying to not bend everything too much. So if you bend a little bit, you can kind of straighten it out with your fingers actually, which is very handy. Right, so now that we've got this roller completed, we go onto these little guys. And when you look at it, you can see there's a pattern. So keep the pattern on the outside and make sure this little leg is pointing that way. So the way where this flap is kind of hanging, so overhanging, yeah. So let me show you. So this literally goes in over the overhang. There we go, like this. So the leggy is pointing that way, to the back of it. And we do the same on the other side. There we go. And then this guy is going to go on, but you have to make sure it goes on the right way. So when you're holding it, let's say it like this. Oh, my things come out. Because it's not fixed in fully yet, they come off very easily, those 2 little guys. So when you look at this guy, let's imagine these little 2 legs, yeah, they have to basically face up the way, okay? And then this guy will simply clip on the place, and then once it's on this little guy, these 2 little guys will be fixed in a place. So these little guys go to the back, see that? To the outside, sorry. So this little hole and that little hole. So just be very gentle. I don't think it's going to be that straightforward because they're kind of, again, not fixed in a place 100%. So I'm trying to push in the little guys in a little bit first. And then kind of the rest of it, very gently. See that longer leg is popping into place as well. And the same will happen on this side. Hey, look at this. Oh, beautiful. Look at this. How cool is that? Ha! Trying to push in the side there a little bit. Kind of straighten it out, but it's okay. That looks really quite nice, doesn't it? So cool. And one more thing is to pop these 2 little guys in right in here. So basically lock everything together. Very small piece, so be careful. Oh, I just realized there is color on it. Haha, nearly forgot. So make sure the color stays on the top, kind of facing the bottom of this guy. So like that. Not going to be the easiest. Wow, let's see. So that's a very tiny piece. Wiggle, wiggle. I've got a feeling that will be easy to break, not gonna lie. Hey, yeah, you have to be very careful with that one. It is not that easy to push it in. There we go. See that? Just like that. And then, yeah, the colour stays up the way, basically. But it's not like you can see it anyways. Never mind. Right, and the other one. Wah! Oh. You kind of want to push both sides in kind of at the same level, side, speed. You don't want one leg to be in fully first and then the other one, because then you could definitely break it. But yeah, look at that. That is such a small piece, but wasn't actually that straightforward to do, but it looks really quite cool. Love those colours again. And then, this is going to be the last steps of this part 3. And this is the first time we're actually using a plastic part. So when you grab this, make sure you take off the actual film, the protective film. See that? Now it's very nice and shiny. And you might see there's actually holes there as well, but there is plastic in there. So literally just rip it off, just like that. And do exactly the same on the other side. Nice and easy start, you know. Right, now we come to this guy. Again, there's loads of colour. Nice green colour, very actually quite cool. Christmassy, you know. And then we come to this guy right here. And that will literally go to the back like that. So you have to hold it like this, literally like I am just now. The two leggies pointing up the way, and these little two guys that we put in pointing downwards. So this whole roller thing has to stay on the left basically, and it literally clicks in these 3 holes. Nice and easy. Don't want to try and push onto the actual roller parts anywhere because they bend quite easily. So try and not push on the corners or anything. Like here and here, you know, you do not want to break anything. Right, now we come to this guy, and this side is the plain side. This is how we're holding it. Then we come to the plastic, and here's the little guy. Look at that, that's tiny. It doesn't say where the color goes, so I'm gonna keep it to the top. So that goes in here, and then it literally clicks onto here, to the back of that other piece. Wow, see that? There we go. And we go another little piece. Again, I'm keeping a color to the top, facing the top. Ooh, oh. Yay, there you go. That was nice and straightforward. Look at that. Look at this, that's our 4 windows with actual little snowflakes as well, if you can see that. Oh yeah, now you can see it. That is really quite cool. Really like these nice intricate details, you know. Right, now we come back to this guy. So hold it like this. Again, little leggies pointing up the way. And remember, this guy that we just built, that will simply go in here. So this is the bendy part. So you can bend it slightly, very gentle. You do not want to break that. Pop that in, and then little leg is going to go in that hole right there. And if your bendy part, if you feel like it's not bending really, I have heard that people can hold the pieces over steam and it softens the wood, which I definitely believe that it would soften the wood, but I don't think there's need for it. Look at that. That looks really neat. That is super cool. And we got another bendy part right here. So this is how you hold it. So color on the outside, and it goes this time on this corner. So just give it a little bend. There we go. As soon as it's into place, do not bend it anymore. And a little leg again. So everything nice and gently. Oh, there we go. So what you need to pay attention to is that this little outside, right in that corner, might be hitting this side. So kind of push it in a little bit. Yay, there you go. There we go, nice and flush. So yeah, just watch that corner. It was kind of the same on the other side. Make sure the corner doesn't hit that side because it's just not going to go in then, yeah, no. Right, now we got these 2 guys. And you need to pay attention to where each of them goes. So this comes on this side. So the right hand side, right here, where this piece is with this little nice details, little stars and everything. So this is how you literally hold it. This open hole on the right and facing up the way. Okay, and as you can see, this goes right in here. So I'm just popping the back leg in a little bit and it will wrap around and go in that hole. You can actually start from that side. I don't think it really matters. There we go. Because you can just pull it back a little bit. There we go, like I did just now, and it just pops straight in. If you want to follow instructions exactly as they show you, you can pop that side in first and then bend it over and pop the other two sides in. It doesn't really make much difference, but you might put too much force on the bendy part and it might just break. Right, so let's do it this time like that then. So, let's pop this in, see that, nice and easy. And then like that. So just put it in the way that the colour is facing outwards. It's as simple as that. Okay, yeah, that was actually much easier, to be honest, popping that leg in first. Gee whizzers, just ignore me, eh? Right, now that we've got this really cool front made up, that has to go into place. So, see these three holes right there, the small ones. And then there's two right here. So that's where it's going in first, and then it's kind of gonna bend back a little bit and plop into place. Lock into place, plop into place. Nah, same thing. So I'm gonna start with the front holes first. Very gentle. No rush. No rush. Okay. Super gentle. Then we went on to the next hole. So the second one. No. Very gentle. Where's my hole gone? Oh, there it is. Okay, and see that? See that little slot right in there? You can kind of see a gap there, yeah? See where my finger is? Right there. So that's where this green part's going to go in. And then the rest of it is going to go in through that. Right there. Right. Oh, no, not that hole, sorry. There's a hole below that. Right there. I was like, no, you can't see that. Okay. Push in, push in. Yeah, there you go. So it's going in very gently. Alright, let's see. So we need to push in even lower. And that's not easy because of those bendy parts. On my head just hit the camera as well. Gee whiz. Big head, eh? Ha ha! Funny guy. Aha. Okay. That's basically nearly in. Now we're on to this side. Gentle pressure. Pressure. Ha! Pressure. Right, where's this hole? Let's see. So if you, obviously the cable will just be on the side. Yes, there you go. What about this green part? Yep, that is locked into place as well. So yeah, you have to be extremely careful with putting this side in, the front. And oh my god, look at that, that looks absolutely amazing. So yeah, start with the holes at the front and gently just kind of slowly keep moving it back and popping in the rest of the little legs, and then make sure that goes in a little bit and then that goes in a little bit. You just have to be very gentle. So yeah, there's a hole just below that hole where the cable's going through. So yeah, extremely careful, that's all you have to do. And look at that, that is absolutely awesome. That front, it just looks absolutely brilliant, and I think we've done an excellent job. All we got to do now is plug in again, just so we can see in action, because it's so satisfying and awesome. Right, let's see. I'm going to turn off the music, by the way, again. Oh, I'm like, why is it not working? Is my cable not plugged in properly? Oh yeah, oh my god, I can't even plug in a cable properly. There we go, look at that. How cool is this? I really like that wheel, it's such a nice detail. It's just chilling there, kind of turning on its own. Oh, that looks absolutely awesome. Love that. That's so cool how the gift just kind of appears out of nowhere. That's how it looks like. Obviously, we know what's happening in there, but that is absolutely genius. And yeah, I'm still not sure about this red bunting, because I can see it from this side. It looks really nice, but I'm like, I can see the plain side on the other side, but I suppose actually I could just use a red acrylic paint, because I feel like that should have colour at the back as well, you know, because we are looking at it from all angles, you know. But yeah, absolutely well done, guys. This is taking its shape big time now. Absolutely love it. And I really hope I was able to help you. You have to be very careful in quite a few parts here, especially the whole front part, to be honest. Not that straightforward, but very doable, and it's very satisfying because of the patterns and colours and everything. Super awesome. So yeah, I really hope I was able to help you. I would absolutely love to know where you're watching from / where you're building from. That would be amazing. So leave a comment down below. Make sure you also leave a like, because that spreads the word. Subscribe. And yeah, remember, you can go and check out ROKR kits. I've got a link down below in the video description and the comment section, and use my promo code Martins15 to receive 15% off on everything. Or if you prefer Amazon, there's an Amazon link for this specific kit. And thank you so much, everybody, and thank you, Andre, for joining my channel membership again. And if you guys fancy supporting me just by simply buying basically a coffee for me every month, if you enjoy my content, that would be amazing. So you're welcome to join in. And thank you so much for watching, everybody. I shall see you all in part 4. Bye for now.